A foundation developed in honor of a Lexington actress who died at the age of 22 benefits performers of all ages and young patients fighting cancer.
Our Sam Dick went off the beaten path to learn about the Alexandria Simpson Foundation and its impact.
Play games, all sorts, you must be kind.
From an early age, Alex Simpson exuded confidence and joy on Lexington Theatre stages. Her mother says Alex commanded attention and worked very hard on her performing craft.
She was the light in the room, and she had a huge laugh, and she was loud. And I don't know if she was loud because of musical theater.
Is he really coming with us?
Alex performed at the Lexington Opera House in productions by the Lexington Theatre Company, at SCAPA, the School for the Creative and Performing Arts at Lafayette High School, and at Central Christian Church.
I think she knew every line in the entire show and every lyric in the entire show, even as a very small kid. And you could tell that there was an energy. She just beamed when she was on that stage.
But offstage, starting at 13, Alex was fighting for her life. She had a rare aggressive cancer called 6-duct4.
Like, she had a tumor the size of an avocado in her trapezius muscle. And then when it came back the second time, it was in the right lung. And then when it came back when she was 21, it was in the left lung.
Less than 3 months after she walked across the graduation stage at Dartmouth College, Alex passed away. She was 22.
There's not a minute of the day that I don't think of her.
Alex's spirit and love of the theater lives on through a trust called the Alexandria Simpson Foundation. In between her bouts of cancer, Alex decided how to use her trust to benefit her church, schools, hospitals, and theater.
And I just said, look at it like a pie. Identify what percentage of your pie you would want to go to the nonprofits, and which ones you want to identify as your passion projects. And so she did.
Alex's foundation funded a new black box theater for rehearsals at the Lexington Theatre Company, the Simpson Theater at UK's Kentucky Children's Hospital, an annual spring music celebration at her church, and a butterfly garden at the Arboretum.
And I do think it gave her a peace of mind knowing that if something did happen, that these organizations would receive gifts that could make a real difference, not just today, but down the road.
Off the beaten path in Lexington, I'm Sam Dick reporting for WKYT.
And you might remember Alex's mother there, Melanie Simpson Conley, was a news anchor here at WKYT in the mid-1990s.